you ever wondered how fear could turn ordinary people into judges, executioners, and monsters? How a whisper, a trembling voice, or even a bad dream could mean death? This is not the story of demons or witches, but of hysteria, faith, and power. This is the story of the Salem Witch Trials. It all began in 1692 in the small Puritan village of Salem, Massachusetts. Life there was strict, quiet, and deeply religious. The Puritans believed that the devil was always lurking, waiting to tempt them, corrupt them, or destroy their community. In their world, anything strange or unexplained could be the work of Satan. That winter, something unusual happened inside the home of Reverend Samuel Parris. His young daughter, Betty Parris, and her cousin Abigail Williams began acting strangely. They screamed uncontrollably, spoke in strange voices, and twisted their bodies in unnatural ways. The frightened villagers tried everything: prayer, fasting, and confession, but nothing worked. Soon, the girls accused someone. They claimed that local women were bewitching them. At first, no one believed such wild accusations. But fear spreads faster than truth. Within days, the village was consumed by panic. The first 3 women accused were Tituba, the family's enslaved woman from the Caribbean, Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, a poor, sickly woman who had not attended church. These women were outsiders, easy targets in a world desperate for someone to blame. Under pressure, Tituba confessed. Her words would ignite one of the darkest fires in American history. She claimed that witches were everywhere in Salem, serving the devil and plotting to destroy the town. She described dark rituals, strange creatures, and a mysterious book of the devil that she said she had seen others sign. Whether her confession was real or forced by fear, it changed everything. The people of Salem believed her. Now, the witch hunt had begun. The accusations spread like wildfire. Neighbors turned on neighbors, friends accused friends, and even family members betrayed each other. Anyone who acted differently spoke out, or simply had enemies could be next. The villagers formed special courts to examine the accused, but the trials were far from fair. There were no solid proofs, no witnesses, only the words of frightened children and the pressure of a terrified community. The most dangerous form of evidence was called spectral evidence testimony, that someone's spirit or ghost had appeared to harm another person. Think about that. People were condemned to death because someone claimed they saw their spirit attack them in a dream. Those who confessed to witchcraft were spared, while those who denied it were executed. Imagine that for a moment. Your only chance to live was to admit to a lie. As the months went on, the hysteria grew worse. Even respected citizens like Rebecca Nurse, a kind, elderly woman beloved in the community, were accused. When she stood trial, she said softly, "I am innocent as the child unborn." But her words didn't matter. Fear had deafened the town. Rebecca Nurse was hanged. Then came Martha Corey, John Proctor, and many others. Proctor, a strong and outspoken farmer, openly condemned the trials, calling them madness. For his courage, he too was accused. In one of his final letters, he wrote, "I cannot mount the scaffold like a saint. It is a fraud." He died refusing to confess to something he never did. Meanwhile, the prison cells overflowed with the accused. Over 150 people were locked up, chained in cold stone rooms. The youngest accused was a 4-year-old girl, and the oldest over 80. Some went mad in prison, others died before ever seeing a trial. Can you imagine living in a world where a simple argument or rumor could cost your life? How far would you go to prove your innocence when the truth no longer mattered? The frenzy reached its peak in the summer of 1692. 19 people were hanged, and one man, Giles Corey, was crushed to death under heavy stones for refusing to plead. His final words, as the weight broke his bones, were "more weight." He became a symbol of resistance against injustice. But eventually, the madness began to fade. Too many innocent people had died. Too many lies had been told, and even the most devout believers began to question what they had done. The governor's own wife was accused of witchcraft, and that was the turning point. Suddenly, the trials stopped. The special court was dissolved, and the prisoners were gradually released. By the end of 1693, the witch hunt was over. But the damage could never be undone. Families were shattered, reputations destroyed, and the once peaceful town of Salem was left haunted not by witches, but by guilt. Years later, those involved publicly apologized. Judges and accusers confessed their regret, admitting that fear had blinded them. The colony even offered compensation to the families of the victims, but no amount of money could erase the memory of those dark months when reason was lost and innocence was punished. Historians have debated for centuries what truly caused the Salem Witch Trials. Some blame religious fanaticism, the belief that every misfortune came from the devil. Others say it was social tension, jealousy, or even poisoned rye crops that caused hallucinations. But one truth remains: it wasn't witches that destroyed Salem, it was fear itself. The Salem Witch Trials remain one of the most terrifying lessons in human history: how hysteria can spread, how justice can vanish, and how easily truth can be drowned in the noise of panic. Even today, this story still feels uncomfortably familiar. It reminds us that when fear takes over, anyone can become the accused or the accuser. So, what would you have done if you were in Salem in 1692? Would you have stayed silent or dared to speak the truth? What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.